All right, good morning, everybody. This is Dee. We're going to get started here. If you have not checked in yet, please do so with the organization that you are attending the webinar from. And if you have any questions for us today, please mark the pod to the left side of the screen to let us know what we need to cover. We will be talking about all of those items along with giving you a demonstration of a couple of things that are taking place right now that have been implemented. So if you have any additional questions as we're going along, please type them into the chat pod and we will get those answered for you. So we have Tammy on the call with us. She can answer questions for you. And it looks like we have Fred from DHS that can answer questions for you. So we can make sure that we have all of that information available for you. During the call, if you have any problems hearing on your computer speakers, we invite you to dial in to the conference line so that you can hear directly. So I'm going to take a moment and hide the check-in polls. Tammy, would you like to say hello, or Fred, would you like to say hello?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. We're plugging away. We're getting a lot of applications and a lot of kids placed in jobs. I know from the DCO perspective, we're probably have got about a fourth of our kids placed in jobs of what our projected plan is. So I sent an email out to all of our grantees today just highlighting what needs to be done, continue to fill those slots, and, and please participate in these webinars so that we know what to do with the payroll.
This is Fred Nettles. I'd like to appreciate you calling in and being a part of this webinar. Look forward to getting more input from you.
Great. Natasha, would you like to say anything real quick?
Good morning, everyone. And Dee's going to cover some of our new releases and updates. We do appreciate your feedback. So we did have a polling question, if you weren't with us last time, about some displays. And we made some updates and based on your feedback. So we do appreciate your feedback.
All right. We have a question from the audience already. Can you please tell me what are the max hours youth can work per week? Also, are part-time workers required to take lunch breaks? If so, are they paid for that time? I do know that according to labor laws, if anybody works over 5.5 hours, they're required to take a 15-minute break, and if it's over 5.5 hours, they're required to take a half an hour unpaid break. If it's within the 5 hours, they're allowed a 15-minute paid break. But Tammy or Fred, would you like to answer the question about the max hours per week? Obviously, we don't want to pay them overtime.
Yeah, it's no more than full time, so 40 hours is the max that DCO allows.
Fred, would you like to answer on behalf of DHS?
It's the same.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Question on staff side of WorkNet, will we be able to click on each client and see their pre and post assessments and all the questions they answered? We were able to do that last year. Will it be available again? Natasha, do you know the answer to that one?
Yeah, you can see their scores in their profile. You won't see what they got right and wrong, but you'll be able to see, you can see what they scored in their profile. And we are adding a page that is specifically for people who have access to SYEP tools, so that we can give you, so obviously you'll see all the questions, but then you'll also be able to see where the answers to those questions are located. So we'll make sure we get that out hopefully today.
The break times, it's 5.5 hours is required to provide a 30-minute unpaid lunch break. If they work 5 hours or less, they're entitled to a 15-minute paid break. If they work 8 hours, they're entitled to 2 15-minute paid breaks and a half an hour, a 30-minute unpaid lunch break. So that's the hours according to Illinois labor laws. Let's move into our demonstration today. This is our SYEP website, and again, to access the SYEP guide, the youth would access their tools by clicking here on this box that says Career Plan, Job Search, Resume Builder, Portfolio. That's where they click to re-enter after they have taken their test and need to get back into their Employment 101. And I notice that we have a question about pre and post test, and Employment 101. We'll cover that in a moment after I have the demonstration completed. At the bottom of the screen, you access the SYEP Partner Guide, so I'm going to the SYEP Partner Guide. Again, all of your resources are available for you here. It shows you all the updates that are taking place. We have a full list of our resources that we can access by category, and then you can find the other resources in the different categories here. If you have not discovered the answer to a particular question, you can find that in the frequently asked partner questions, the FAQ. We also have another question: will we be able to print or reprint their certificate of completion? Yes, you can do that. In the work experience, you have, I'm sorry?
Hey, Dee, just to be clear on the question, I just put it in the chat pod. Right now, the youth can print their certificate of completion through their SYEP tools, but we can add that option for the partners to be able to print that certificate of completion, and we can go ahead and we'll just add that to the youth profile page. I'll make a note to do that.
All right. And the max hours that a youth can work per week, just as a repeat, is 40 hours for both DHS and DCEO. They cannot work any overtime. And that's no matter how many sites they're working at. On the screen right now, you see the partner guide for the work experience. This is where you can access the youth timesheet. And we also have the employer and worksite entry instructions. We will also have assigning youth to a work site. And then what we want to do is talk to you about how to upload payroll today. And you can find those parts under reporting. I'm sorry, those reports and those directions under reporting. We have a payroll and expenditure report upload instructions that is in your file share pod in the lower left-hand corner. If you need to access it and don't get it out of today's webinar, you can access it from the guide. And here are the directions. This is what I'm going to show you how to do today so that you have seen it as well as can follow the directions. And Natasha made me do this by following the directions, and I was successful, so anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So today what we're going to do, we're going to go back to access our partner tools, and you access those at the top of the guide, sign into your SYEP partner tools. Now I'm going to use this test screen so that we don't show you any real data. And yes, we are recording this session for viewing at a later point in time. So now once you've logged into your partner tools, you will get to the screen that shows you the dashboard. So on the dashboard, you have all of the applications that you have access to, applications that are in progress, total, all of the information in your dashboard. Green means you can move ahead to the next step. Red means that there's something that needs to be done. So if you've got zeros in the red, you're doing good. If you've got some numbers in the red, you need to pay attention to those items. Under the employers, I want to show you the updates that we did. So what we've done by listening to your feedback from the last technical assistance session, we took the information and we told you what the employer's name is, what the address is, what industry they're in, and how many work sites they have available. If you click on the name of the employer, you can see the information that is available, including the supervisor background, check the work site agreement, who the contact is, and what the work site contact information is as well. When you go back to the employers list, you would then be able to add an employer here or make any changes there. On the placements page, we were able to make this so that you can, again, still see the information, see what the projected openings are, both part-time and full-time, and then you can see the part-time placements and the full-time placements. And if you notice here on this screen, we have one of these work sites that does not allow you to edit the placements. And what we can see by this is by clicking on the employer information, I noticed here that the supervisor background check is not complete, and the supervisor background checks are not complete here. So we need to make sure that if you want to add placements, you need to make sure that all of the required parts of the assignment are complete, including background checks and worksite agreements. So let's take a look at one of these builders. We're going to look at Builder North, and we're going to edit the placements here by clicking on this. And if I want to add a placement or remove a placement, I can do it from this particular screen. I can edit the information for the employee here or the youth. I can also remove that youth, and if I want to add an additional youth to this location for Builder North Telger Tools, I can add the placement. I can click the youth who is in my organization, and if I want to add Parker, I can do that. I can add Parker as part-time, as regular, what type of job she's going to do, or he is going to do sales and related occupation, planned start date. We have a calendar pop up. They're going to start on the 23rd, and then they're going to stop August 13th. And I add the placement, and then you see that Parker now shows up in the list of placements that I have put at the job site. So now let's pay these youth. I'm going to click on the payroll tab at the top of the screen. And again, these are not real youth.